Hey guys, welcome back to Museum Grack Reads. My name is Elizabeth, this is Zohan, and today we're going to talk about what I read in July. So June was really crazy in my life, and July was busy, but I kind of just needed some time to get back into the swing with my new job, with my life, and with my reading. So I took it kind of easy this month. Between the foster kittens climbing all over my books and just trying to get through the day, I only managed 4 reads this month. Best laid plans of mice and men, right? After June, I had such a good June. Even with all the chaos in my life, I read so many books in June, but we have 4 for the month of July. So let's get to it. So first up, we have Scorched Grace by Margot Duahi. Now this is a queer nun solving an arson/murder at the Catholic church that she teaches at in New Orleans. Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages very graciously invited me to be the co-host for her Silly Goose Book Club for the month of June. So we had the live show at the beginning of July to talk about our thoughts on this modern take on a cozy clergy-led murder mystery. So I'm going to link that down below because we had a really great conversation. I think this one was pretty solidly a 3.5 for me. It wasn't groundbreaking in terms of the tropes or the narrative of this type of mystery. It's something that I've spent a lot of time in my upbringing with a mother who loved cozy British mysteries, which are often solved by clergy members for some reason. But the prose in this I adored. Margot Duahi wrote prose in a way that felt like you were being wrapped up in a blanket in a way that I haven't experienced in a little while, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where she goes in the future because I really liked the way she was writing. So thank you again, Noelle, for inviting me to be a part of the Silly Goose Book Club. Can't wait to pick up some more of your picks. They're always so interesting and entertaining. So like I said, I've left the link to our Silly Goose Book Club down below, but also to her announcement video where she lays out all the reads for the rest of the year in case you want to join in, because it's a really fun time. I don't know that I've laughed as hard at anything BookTube related as I did during her Shallow Waters live stream. Just, I'm saying, it was peak entertainment. So beyond Scorched Grace, the name of the game for July was let's continue where we started. So I was trying to focus in on series that I'd already begun, that I needed to continue on or just really wanted to continue on in. And that starts with Barbarian's Mate by the one and only Ruby Dixon. This came out at the end of June, beginning of July. No, this came out at the beginning of July. And as always, with a nice plan of barbarians, as soon as it comes into my grubby little hands, I read it. It's who I am. I know it. I own it. So this is following a couple that I had been waiting so long for. This is the enemies to lovers that we have all been waiting for. And yes, I know they're all already out, but I'm pacing myself, and this is how I do it, by waiting for these to come. So, got it? Okay. So this one follows Josie and Hayden. Hayden is a grumpy grump who has already lost a mate once, and Josie is just a fun-loving girl who hadn't resonated yet because of an IUD that conveniently flies the coop on its own at the beginning of this story, only for her to find out that the Shakui who has been making her life miserable and constantly doubting her abilities is actually her fated mate. And it was good. It was so good. I love this grumpy little nugget. I love an angry little grump man, and Hayden gives it to me. So, not my favorite book in the series. I still think that is my Barbarian Mine, because that's got that whole Tarzan trope, and I really dig the Tarzan trope. So, enjoyed it. 5 out of 5. Can't complain about anything Ruby Dixon. So next we have a book that was actually really graciously gifted to me by the incredible Christine and Mo from the Roomies Digest to celebrate my new job, and that is Always Only You, which is book 2 in the Bergman Brothers series by Chloe Leese. I think that it is probably unnecessary to continue raving about Chloe Leese on the internet because I think we all get it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. As I was reading this live on Sprints, I immediately bought the rest of the books in the series. I'd been gifted this one and book 3, and I bought the rest of them to make sure that I could just devour them all with their indie covers and have a good time. This one in particular follows Ren Bergman and Frankie. Frankie is autistic and also has severe arthritis in her hips, which causes her to need an ambulatory device. So she uses a cane, which she just usually describes as the Elder Wand and uses to curse people with it, as though she is a villain in Harry Potter. She is no nonsense, by the book PR manager, specifically social media manager for the hockey team that Ren plays for. And there are rules in place that say they can't date, but that does not stop Ren from wanting Frankie with everything in him. And his pining is delicious. I cannot recommend this book enough. 5 out of 5. Chloe Leese can do no wrong. I will follow you all the way to Mount Doom. And I know this one's gonna be surprising, but it shouldn't be, but also kind of is, because I only just read this book for the first time in December, and here it is again. But it has become a major part of my personality, and frankly, part of my purpose in the bookish community to convince everyone to read this book. So it's only fitting that I forced my entire SFF book club in real life to read The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Yes, I know. I've already started rereading the Wayfarer series. I have no regrets and no apologies. Honestly, reading this again after completing the entire series, I caught so many new things, characters and species that you don't really interact with until books 3 or 4 feature in this one in ways that I never noticed the first time around because I hadn't been introduced to the depth and breadth of the Wayfarer world yet. This was a super eye-opening second read. I caught more things, but importantly, I still cried. I cried at the same point that I did the first time, so good job, Becky. I knew it was coming. You still ripped my heart out. If you're not aware of the Wayfarer series or The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, this is a cozy sci-fi series of companion novels. And this first, hi bud, the first of which follows the crew of the Wayfarer. And this is a multi-species crew, and they are essentially the highway workers of space. So they create passages in space-time, in subspace, to allow folks to navigate the expansive galactic commons efficiently and safely. And we enter the story with Rosemary, who is a human who's never really traveled in space before, who's experiencing all of these things for the first time, joining the crew as their clerk. I love this crew so much. I love their antics. I love how we learn about who they are and where they come from. The way that Becky builds out species, conflicts, colonialism, gender ideas, what it is to be human, or in this case, sapient, to have your own autonomy. There are so many interesting things that are covered in this story, and then it just continues to build from there with each subsequent book. So if you somehow have managed to escape hearing me talk about this series or hearing about this series, please let this be your sign to pick up Becky Chambers. Pick up Becky Chambers. Long Way to a Small Angry Planet is an amazing read, and I promise you, you will not regret it, whether you like sci-fi or not. One thing that was happening in July, well, May through July, was that I had a litter of foster kittens, all black, which is I'm a sucker for a black kitten. And this last week, they went back to the shelter to find their forever homes. And this one came right back home with me. Didn't you? So I'm a sucker for a black cat. My childhood cat was black. I think the shelter probably knew when they sent me home with 4 black kittens that one of them was going to stay. And this is the one that my cat picked, and I'm going to insert a picture here. She's never done this before with a foster, ever. We've been doing this for 6 years. So this is Ohan, and he is named after a character in none other than The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. 'cause I love it.
And so does Ohan. Isn't that right, buddy?
Okay, well, that's it. I didn't tackle mountains this month, but I had a really good reading month. I enjoyed everything that I picked up, which isn't always the case, so I'm going to count it as a win. So I'd like to hear from you guys. Was there anything in here that sounded interesting to you or that you've loved? What are you planning to read next month? Leave it in the comments. Also, please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to me. It really helps my channel grow. And until next time, bye guys.